in today's time of superheroes and heroines in the IT industry, don't get shot. Should you be looking for a leader, for somebody who can lead you to fulfillment of desired results? Or should you be looking for a company as the entity that can fulfill the required results? That is the question of today's topic. Stay tuned. We have this constant and ever-increasing demand for developers and designers and all the professionals required to deliver a fully functional digital product. What are the ways you can take? You can hire each one individually, so you go with the designers, with developers, who knows which kind and whatnot if you're not in it. Then QA, management of the whole thing. Do you need DevOps? Do you need just like massive amount of people that need to collaborate to deliver something? So what do you do about it? You could go to freelance sites and find freelancers, or you can go and find an agency, or an agency will find you. I'm sure if you had any public display of needs to hire or anything that matter, you already probably reached by a dozen of freelancer companies and whatnot. How do you protect yourself? How do you make sure that you will not be tricked, not be cheated? I know it doesn't sound good, you know, you're going to something new and you already expect it to get tricked and cheated and it's gonna end bad. So it shouldn't work that way. How you protect yourself? You protect yourself by being very, what's the right word? You prepare things well. If you prepare things well and you know what are you building, what are its features, if you have documented it visually and verbally, and you have estimates based on those, then you're in the safe zone when looking to employ somebody to deliver. The problems you might have going for freelancers is that you probably need 5 different profiles of people. So you have to manage them somehow, and people who have never worked together before now have to work together this time. Then you have an increasing expenditure on management of that. You need somebody from the IT, whatnot. Complicated. Doable, but you need some experience with it, and then it's manageable, but it's a bit messy. The other way, go for the software development agency who has everything in-house. But we come to the problem of this ever-increasing demands, problem with cost increase, expenses increase, and whatnot. And in the previous episodes, I've mentioned about development centers being opened across Eastern Europe, pulling in all the talent with salaries that those environments would not provide before. And then you have a lacking amount of companies who can actually deliver based on what you need and still have good resources. So in order for them to pull the best resources, now they have to compete for the cost of paying for the resource. Highly complex story. That leads me to think about fact that when you outsource to somebody, wherever they are, I believe that even those agencies now must outsource further. A new model has appeared where you have this new sort of companies who just provide headcount. So they would be an interface that will find for you back-end engineer, front-end engineer, QA engineer, mobile developer, whatnot, and they provide the team for you, which is sort of trade-off between getting a full-time company, in-house company that delivers everything. Again, good solution, not the best. I can see it work, I can see it fail, the same with everything. So what does it mean getting a partner So you don't outsource a number of heads that you need to hire. You outsource a product, you outsource a project, you outsource entire scope of something. That means partnering with somebody to deliver something. Now, when you outsource by head, then you have individuals who will deliver as specified. That is perfect when we have this entire documentation produced by my 12 milestone process, and that is perfect. You don't have to worry about it. You still need somebody who will manage the whole team, but it's totally manageable. The best case scenario, however, is an agency that has a group of people already working together who can produce. So, yeah, partnering. Partnering is a special way of working with an agency, and that's how I work with my engineers, is that we totally connect with you, partner with you in delivering a digital product. A level of dedication, a level of trust, a level of professionalism is the same as if we own the same company, we own the same product, except we don't, we are just paid to deliver. And it's one example that I find the most suitable. I'm not saying my company is the best in it, nor that I have the best resource anywhere worldwide, famous, whatever. No, I just say this is the model I believe is really good. We have processes which work, proven processes which work, and I'm still saying other models can work. If you ask me, I would say go for a leader. Because there's so many obstacles in running a business today, especially in this big, high demanding market where a lot of resources, developers in the companies and designers, they're all scattered around and they're changing environment and going from one company to another, leaving totally one company, and then a new team comes in. So you might outsource to a company which has a stable team of, I don't know, 20, 30 people, 50, whatever. And then all of a sudden, everything changes inside the company because of some external event they cannot control. And now this company has totally changed everybody working in it in 1 or 2 months during your project. So you went for a company with amazing portfolio, amazing products behind them. And what happened when everybody moved around and you don't have the same people who produced all that? So you're actually looking for a leader who is organizing that entity and holding it together so it can produce everything that it has. So many times I have been asked to provide CVs of developers that work for engineers, which is ridiculous, because everything that the company produces is the work of people who produce, of course, but it exists and it's produced because of the leaders of such company. That's right, I want to introduce you to 2 guys, so give me a moment, please. So I said I'm gonna... Shut the fuck up. Sorry. So I said I'm going to introduce you to 2 guys. I'm actually going to introduce you to 3 guys. And I'm not that good with numbers except when I'm sending you an invoice. So Goran, Alex, and Mladen, which are the team I'm talking about. That's the kind of leadership I'm talking about. Well, what kind of leadership? I'm telling to the audience that it's not about when they look to outsource, when they look for a company, it's not about the people in the company as everybody in the company. You know, many times they ask us to send CVs of people that work for us, which when you come to a company's website and you see what is produced, in order for that to be produced, it must come from the leadership and then from everybody else. And you might have 30 or 50 or 100 developers which get to these results, but they can't get to these results without the leadership. So it doesn't matter who is behind the leader, who is behind the leadership, as long as the leadership is strong and knows what they're doing. So the reason I want to introduce these three guys who have been working with me for like 6 years in the past, 9 years, who knows. One of them being Goran, whose eye for perfection of implementation of front-end technologies is as such that it cannot leave anything unfinished. And it's always perfectly implemented as by things coming from designers, from Dragan and his team who have met in the previous episodes. And the level of dedication coming from him where he can stay 2 nights and not sleep at all to deliver something is what values the most. So the value that is produced in such a way is the value that the client must pay, and not 36 hours he spent working. No, the value of it. Then we have Aca there, who also goes to such ridiculously level of perfection to deliver something that, I don't know, if he was my wife, I would be bothered and I would slap him. I know it sounds wrong, but we don't slap women, of course. But the reason these loose conversations with the friends can go beyond acceptable. But what I'm saying is that the level of perfection required to deliver something which he leads is as such that it doesn't leave things blank. It reduces the risk of something going wrong, and reduces the number of iterations until the client is satisfied with the delivery. Nothing can be perfect in the first iteration or the 5th iteration, but there's a process that is employed in order to get to perfect delivery, and that's what he's mostly handling of. And if it's 5 guys 1 month working for him and then another 5 guys next month, it doesn't matter, he leads that shit. And that's why the leadership is the strongest point in a company, and not, how do you say, whatever. I knew it, but I forgot the words. And yeah, you have a meeting, sorry. Mladen as well, similarly to Aca, going into details and assuring that a team of a large number of people, even I know 20 people delivering a software, works synchronized, in synchronized matter. It's like I compare it with somebody plays the piano and you have notes in front of yourself. You have to move your 10 fingers, 10? 10? In such a simultaneous way that everything sounds perfect. And that's what he does. He can control what and how in which order is delivered, so the symphony sounds what it needs to sound like, which means delivery of software is as such. So just a brief introduction to these guys who are running things for everything that we deliver, and whoever works with us, for us, around us, it doesn't matter as long as we stick as a group and we are the interface of everything that is delivered in the years before us and the years to come. Thank you for watching, and in the next episode they will continue saying nothing. I'll just have them around me so I can continue speaking and making them feel uncomfortable as Dragan. Thank you.
Bye guys.
Hey guys, I really hope I brought you value with this episode of the Digital Product Concepting and Innovation. Go ahead, subscribe, share this, pass it on, and let me know what you think.